Good morning, millennials, and welcome back to the Toast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursdays. This week is just not like other weeks. Of course, it was a shirt week.
I mean, it is like other weeks in a lot of ways because, like, the rumors about me are insane. Yet again, it's so hard to live this life. I know people look at me and they say, oh my God, glamorous celebrity, she has everything. And, like, you don't know the toll it takes, these rumors swirling about me.
What are the rumors starting?
Well, you know, it's funny, right? As life can be. A couple of days ago, I got on this show, and I was very honest with the audience. I said, I'm not really feeling myself. I've taken a turn looks-wise. I'm going to put on these sunglasses in this new studio to just protect myself.
Yeah.
And I said that quite clearly. And then I did the same thing the next day, which was yesterday, and I also said quite queerly.
You did say it in a very queer fashion.
In an extremely queer kind of way, that this is what I was doing, and this is why I was doing it. Did that stop the rumors swirling about me? No.
What are the rumors?
Claudia had a procedure done. Now, I feel like we're all forgetting that I'm pregnant, which
Right.
pretty much bars, unfortunately,
And it's
any
also like
pregnancy.
rude. Why are you not thinking of me and remembering things that I tell you?
Yeah, it's like, is my experience not important to you? Is it
Right.
not valid? Also, rumors I got LASIK. I don't wear glasses. So there's just like a lot of inconsistency in the rumors, and it's really upsetting me. Because now today I'm forced to not wear my glasses to prove like I'm still the same ugly bitch. And it's funny that you guys thought that I would get a procedure and it wouldn't be liposuction. Like if I was
It's
getting
funny
a procedure,
that you guys thought that you would get a procedure and not vlog it for the Patreon.
1000%. So I have my glasses right here.
People who thought that of you obviously
Don't
don't
know
know
me.
you. First of all, you're pregnant. First of all.
It's kind of the biggest of all.
And second of all, you're an open book, especially when it comes to shit like that. Like if you had something done, what did they think? Like bleph or something? Oh my gosh, you'd be shouting it from the rooftops. How interesting.
I would love to have a bleph right now. Like, so I have
Do you think
the-
you'll have a bleph in your life?
actually of all like the issues I look in the mirror and, you know, a bleph was so, I'm sure if I sat and looked at my bleph, I could come up with a reason to get the surgery, but it's certainly not on my top 20.
Not even close. I totally agree.
First would be liposuction.
Sometimes I see something, I'm like, ooh, I need that.
First would be breast lift and reduction,
Okay.
which nobody is speculating, that's hurtful.
Right.
That nobody thinks I got a breast lift and reduction. Second would be liposuction.
Yeah. Liposuction's like a little nothing burger, though. That's like Botox.
Basically outpatient.
It is. It's just a little suction.
So I'm going to put these glasses back on
Okay.
because, again, I haven't blown out my hair in a few days. I'm carrying a little holiday weight, a little baby weight as well. And I just don't feel
Leave
good.
Turdy alone.
And I also feel like the glasses have been like giving me like an extra little spice, you know?
Je ne sais quoi. Yeah, because you have this
Especially this
protection.
pair.
Yeah.
This pair is
You
very...
love your Aussie pair.
Aussie! Yeah. Sharon!
Love.
So just wanted to clear up what I was going through.
Well, the rumors are true. I deleted my Twitter.
That's what I've been saying, by the way.
I mean, the rumors are true.
Me, when I decided to like take 2 days off TikTok, releasing a song.
Yeah, those were the days.
Where were you? Like, I know everybody remembers where they were when they heard like major life news, like we killed Osama. Where were you
When Miley deleted her Twitter.
when you heard that Miley deleted her Twitter?
Ooh, I actually don't remember, but I do remember that I deleted mine. Like when Miley...
In solidarity?
Yeah, when Miley got a Twitter, I got a Twitter because I was like, that's how I can keep up with Miley as opposed to just like going to justjared.com/Miley Cyrus. Like I can follow her on Twitter. So I joined Twitter to follow along with Miley. And then the rumors were true. She deleted her Twitter. So I'm like, what am I doing here? And I deleted mine. And then later in life, I made another Twitter.
Yeah.
But my first, I don't even remember the days. It was just like a Miley fan account.
That was how Twitter took off. Remember, it was like Ashton Kutcher joined Twitter. And it was like,
Yeah.
well, if you want to keep up with Ashton, and who didn't back in the day?
There was a lot to keep up with Miley.
Right.
Like she was taking matters into her own hands.
The
sharing-
Miley and Mandy show?
Yeah, like sharing things going on in her life that we would never see on Just Jared. So I had to join Twitter.
We do have to kind of give a shout out to Jared in that moment because he was there for us before all these other social media platforms were like
Posting carousels of like the same variant of the same picture, but like she moved her leg a little bit.
somebody else was there for us too, but I will not speak his name.
Oh, yeah. No,
Voldemort.
the erasure.
Yeah.
Even though that was, which is really crazy, that was a really big part of
our consumption of celebrity culture growing up. I'm sure you guys know what we're talking about. We will not say this
he
person's
who
name.
shall not be named, which is just so crazy.
Yeah.
And now he like goes online and talks about bullying, and it's like, bruv.
And he goes online, talks about bullying, and then he bullies us. I literally...
He bullies everyone.
Yeah. No, and it's like, I can't even go there.
No, I can't even go
Justice
there.
for Misha Barton.
Justice for everyone.
Or as he called her, Mushy Fart One.
Right.
Justice for everyone. So true.
So I'm glad that you cleared up those rumors about Claude's self.
It's just, you see so many rumors about yourself when you're as big of celebrities as we are, and you want to respond to every single one of them, right?
No.
But this one in particular was so flawed in its potential. I wish I could be getting procedures right now. I wish that's the phase of my life that I was currently in.
Yeah. Well, the rumors are also true that my car can park itself.
Guys, I watched Jackie today. I literally got here early, parked in the same exact place, and I was like, let me find this bitch.
When I turned down the street, I turned right behind you. I saw your car, my husband's car, and I was like, oh my God, Coachers. So she pulled in the exact spot that she was in yesterday, and there was another spot in front of her just like yesterday, but Claudia was doing her thing, and I saw my spot from yesterday was open. Like, we literally got to start all over again. It was honestly like Groundhog's Day, because the car that wound up parking in front of you was another Tesla Model Y like yesterday. No, I literally think we're living in a simulation. I've never thought that before until today, when all the same parking spots are open. We get a second chance. Claudia parks in her spot. I drive a little forward. People told me that my car can park itself. I just have to tap the P. So I line up my car. I'm like, donde está the P?
I never would have thought it would have been that simple.
I see that it's always had, like, whenever there's a parking space or if I'm in a parking lot, all the spots are lettered P. So I'm like, let me just tap it. Boom. The car starts going ham.
Did you take your foot off the gas?
My foot was not on the gas. Mm-hmm. Swerve and Mervin, this wheel is going crazy. Like, perfect park job.
I watched it. I
was standing there waiting for you. Oh, I was waiting for you. Well, you were just taking a while to get your bag. But
you were not waiting for. I was parked.
Literally standing there like.
Excuse me. I just want to clear my name. I was parked. I was taking a long time to get out of the car because I got you a coffee. So I told my purse and 2 coffees.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for coffee, coffee girls. Cheers.
Cheers to a great day.
Cheers to
what hopefully will be.
What will hopefully be a great episode. Like, we're together in our commuter studio life, which is kind of feeling like the life we were made for.
I know. So actually, in addition to the rumors about my botched facelift, a lot of rumors swirling that you and I are on bad terms and I'm not sleeping at your house.
That's not what happened.
No, it's not. Jackie had.
We're on bad terms, but we're doing this.
We are on bad terms, and Jackie had other
I had
house
a full
guests.
house, and as we told you guys on Tuesday, like, Claudia was adamant that she wasn't coming here this weekend or this week, so I made other plans, and I had a full house up until yesterday. So you got a hotel.
And let me say this: man plans, God laughs, because I always come and stay at your house, and it's lovely. I'll never stay at your house again.
This has been really great. And this is great for like work-life balance too.
Being at a hotel has been so amazing. And no disrespect, because I love waking up like in your house with your family, but it's so worth it. Like, the peace and the restoration that have afforded, like, and I went to the spa at this hotel. You came and spent the day.
And, we're loving using the amenities. I went to the spa. We went to the beach. Like, I'm loving the Coach Hotel. I'm not offended because I'm loving it too.
So I just want to set the record straight for our listeners. Like, don't ever expect to see me at Jackie's house ever again unless the hotel is booked.
And then also with the new studio, the studio revamp, we're only set up for one person. I can't record 2 people in my studio on video anymore. And I can do audio if you want to sit on the floor. So we have to outsource. So things are changing.
But we found a beautiful home here.
And we found this is just necessity is the mother of invention, because we've seriously never been happier.
And and I've never, ever been happier.
We're so happy.
We are, by the way. We found a new home here. I love this very Tim Dill. This podcast studio is so podcast. Do you know what I mean?
So Real Ones podcasting. Like, if you're a real one with a podcast, it looks like this. And you know what? We are real ones.
We always forget, we are huge. Both physically, but also in the podcasting space.
Now our clips will look like the elk of podcasters.
No, we look like the type of clips where the top comment is they should make podcast equipment more expensive. You know?
That's what people say.
Like, when a podcast clip goes viral for saying something really stupid, the top comment is always we've got to make podcast microphones more inaccessible.
Oh, that's funny, because I feel like in this studio, it's very clear these are not our microphones. I feel like people would comment that in our frame situation, because we own those things.
We forgot our mic flags again today.
Rats.
You know what? Now that this is our new home, we should leave a copy here.
We should, yeah. I'm going to leave a lot of stuff here. I've got plans.
Yeah, we're going to give us a drawer. We're in that episode of Sex and the City where Carrie gets a quarter of an inch in Big's mirror in the bathroom. Next thing you know, she's got a blow dryer. She's taking up a drawer and he gives it all back to her. Oh man, he was so fucking mean. Like
next time that we're here for a bit of a duration, like we're bringing trinkets for the shelves.
We're bringing a suitcase.
We're going to make it our own.
I like my suitcase.
We are bringing a suitcase.
We are.
Full of Pliny materials.
Correct.
Pliny pargy things.
We're really like the nightmare girlfriend. We're moving in. We're redecorating.
Yeah, but I think sometimes she adds a nice touch.
A woman's touch.
Love what they've done with the place.
1000%. We are not complaining. We are not judging. We are so excited and honored.
We're happy to be a part of like the podcasting world.
The community, the podcasting community of Southern Florida.
It's true, and it's a very large queue.
I have noticed it is very large.
Booming.
We'll fit right in.
Booming industry.
So, by the way, today's a great show because it's Thursday. Stories are, what they are. Life's what you make it, so let's make it rock.
Yeah.
But it's also Summer House Day. So last night's episode of Summer House, the second of the season, aired, and I have a lot of thoughts. I know we were trying not to like recap it betwixt the two of us off air, and you were like, it was like
I had like a mean thing to say, so I said that off air.
Well, as you of course should.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that on the show, but I just wanted you to know how I felt.
Of course.
And it's like, I would say like some mean stuff on the show, but it was like category of mean that I'm not saying.
I know. And it's just so sad that like, and because we're sisters, like we could just say things to each other that like other people would never even like be too afraid
there's
to say.
There's show talk and then there's like off show talk.
And I just want to say, if you guys could hear off show talk, and you never will, like you would not be able to pull it out of me. You either would fucking hate us or like seriously think we're so
it's
funny.
even better than show talk. It's like the real stuff. But then sometimes we're doing off show talk and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Anyone can hear this. Like, if we were at like lunch or something, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, we were having lunch and we were gossiping and Jackie was being so loud.
I'm like, I don't care.
At like a pop-in place where like they were totally toasters.
Incredibly toasty.
Yeah, and I was like, could you shut your fucking mouth? Like, please.
But I told you, I'll say it to your face.
I don't give, she literally didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm like speaking like in.
Yeah, no, by the way, sometimes you have to talk shit so hard that you actually can't even speak it.
No, you cannot.
You sort of have to like.
Yeah, even in like my own house, if I'm saying something, I'm like,
No. You ever say something like so vile and atrocious? You have to do like a couple of things before you say it. You have to check your phone, flip it upright to make sure like it's not recording a voice memo.
That's very you. Like,
no, by the way, that's a universal experience. I'm telling you.
I just like.
Whenever I'm saying something so nasty, I'll take everybody's phones. I'll take Ben's. I'll put it all on like the center of the table, flip it up.
Saying something really nasty, what I have to do is just like say a couple nice things before it.
Oh no, I don't feel the need to qualify my nastiness. When I say something really nasty, I flip up all the phones.
She's an amazing, beautiful girl.
I also repeat it in my head first, just to make sure, like, if anybody walked by hearing it, like, is this something I could truly stand by?
Right.
And that's why I don't leave the house.
Yes.
That's why I don't leave the house because nobody can walk by in my own house.
So you think?
So true. My Alexa, the way my Alexa could destroy me. If like there's a lot of theories. I saw this lawsuit.
Well, she's always listening,
right? That she's listening even when you're not.
She's listening for her name. She says
speaking to her. If you're not speaking to her,
I didn't even know I had an Alexa until I was watching one of Shannon's stories.
Jeff Bezos doesn't even know that he could ruin my career, like with the information he has.
He didn't make your career.
I think it's time he did. By the way.
Yeah, well, that too. But I just feel like I would say it to your face.
Do it. Get the fuck out of my face.
I didn't even know I had an Alexa until I was watching Shannon's stories and she was talking to hers and mine started going.
Where's your Alexa? You don't know you have one?
It's under my living room TV. Now, the good news is I don't do
it's a clock.
I don't do any interesting conversation in my living room, like whatsoever. No. That's not where it goes down.
Different rooms in the home require different sort of conversations and the living room is not.
Jeff has nothing.
Your living room is also far too open because you have like an open concept home.
Right.
And it's like people in the kitchen and the dining room could hear you and it's not private.
It's not where it goes down.
Where does the worst of it go down for you?
My bed on FaceTime.
Mine's the tub. Like it's really private.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And like you have like the stone walls they can't get through.
It's a little echoey actually. If you're like listening through my vents.
It's like reverberating to your neighbors.
Correct.
That's funny. But we don't really say anything bad because we're like lovely, nice girls and we love everyone.
Hey, I've actually like never said anything nasty in my life.
Yeah. It's just true. Is the truth.
Well, that, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up because when talking shit and gossiping, the truth is a factor here. Like, if we're
the truth will set you free.
If we're exchanging truths,
yeah,
we're not doing anything wrong. If we're like making stuff up, like that's real, like that's gossip. We don't do that. We merely exchange factual information
with a sprinkle of opinion,
a little flair for dramatics,
but the opinions are truthful.
Correct, and therefore nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Like it's been fine.
These justifications we have to ourselves quarterly that like our shit talking is fine. It's fine.
No, as I get older, I feel much more comfortable.
It's actually so true.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess that's how old people, like real, like grannies,
don't give a
that's why they
fuck.
don't give. They say, and they'll say it to your face.
Yep.
And I see how you get there.
Oh, I have like the mindset when it comes to gossip of a woman twice my age.
Yeah, and just know like it will get even stronger.
'Cause now I'm stronger.
And that must be a fun part of growing up, amongst other things.
Also, fun fact, when we wrapped yesterday's show, the lovely gentleman, Ben here, who's been fabulously switching all the cameras, he said it to both of us, but we all know he was talking to me. He said, are you guys like singers? Are you like musicians? Because he said, you have such a good voice. And I just thought that was like an interesting fact I wanted to share with everyone.
He said, what kind of business you in?
What kind of business y'all in? That's seriously such an underrated, obviously like the Post-its moment from Romy and Michelle is like a viral moment. But that particular line, the way that server served it is so parchy and it's often overlooked just by the like, we invented Post-its and that's great, but what kind of business y'all in?
No, and it's so pertinent to the present day because so many people talk like Romy. They don't realize it, but the way that they talk about their businesses and their creations and
sometimes you just want to say to someone, what kind of business y'all in?
It's true.
Right? Like that happens a lot. Actually, what were we just talking about?
Meghan Markle.
Love is Blind.
Oh, that too.
The people being like, I work in medical aesthetics. I'm around a lot of Botox. What kind of business y'all in?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
And also it's like, are you a doctor? That's cool.
The other girl who had a doctorate in health administration and works in a hospital and called herself a doctor. What kind of business y'all in? Do you have a doctorate or are you a doctor in a hospital?
That guy who's like, I'm around a lot of aesthetics, like I have a high bar for beauty. Like that's what a plastic surgeon says. He's not the doctor. He's not even like the RN who does the bits and bobs.
And it begs the question, what kind of business y'all in?
He kind of just like walks into the receptionist and like drops off the things that they ordered.
Correct. He is a courier.
So he sees Botox in the waiting room?
He's a clerk. Like...
It's just something that really only plastic surgeons can say.
Having said that, I identify with these people on Love is Blind, like who have a difficult like time expressing their jobs because when I meet new people and they say, what do you do? These days, I think I just say I have a podcast.
That's what I say. Everyone is so interested.
For a while, it was like I'm a comedian and then it was also like a content creator. Right. I've landed, it's when you're a multi-hyphenate, like we are, authors, New York Times bestselling. What else are we? Oh, comedians, podcasters, content creators, musicians. It's hard to pick just one. So like I hate to say just podcast because then it leaves behind all my other accomplishments. But I think for the sake of brevity and like lucidity,
accuracy.
It's best. Yeah.
But also in this day and age, like a successful podcaster does do all of those other things. Like, are you a podcaster if you don't have
implied.
a book? So I think they know that you have like multiple businesses when you say podcasting. And I also have to say, I think I told you this, but the show, Nobody Wants This, has done wonders for this conversation because whenever I say to people, especially older people, like, oh, I have a podcast, and especially when I say it with my sister,
yeah.
They're like the show, Nobody Wants This.
Yeah.
And I think that they portray it pretty well, except then they think it's like sex, and then I say it's not like that.
No,
it's just comedy.
I won't even let my sister listen to my episode of Jay Shetty. You think we're talking about sex?
No, so it's really done wonders for that.
Yeah,
and I just have to thank the Sisters Foster.
I have to thank the Sisters Foster for a lot of things.
Oh, I do have to thank the Sisters Foster for a lot of things. I guess that's like a good segue into like what we absolutely have to talk about today, like as human beings.
And it's just dreadful because this show is supposed to be fun and light, and people are making it so hard.
We've made it fun and light up until this point, even though it's been an awful morning and an awful few days.
It's really been a tough 24 hours. There were a lot of rumors in the last couple of days about the fate of the Bibas family, and I tried not to get like caught up. There's so many rumors. They've been saying things about them for like a year, and especially about this particular family. So I'd seen like false reports, and I didn't want to like believe any of it until it was actually confirmed. And yesterday it was that the 4 hostages being sent back from Gaza today were going to be
in coffins,
dead bodies, and 3 out of 4 of them were the Bibas family.
So the mother and the 2 kids. The bodies are now in Israel for identification. So like it'll be triple confirmed soon, but that is who they've said is coming. So like now.
And of course there was like a whole parade in Gaza of the
coffins, bodies, music playing. Everyone came out to cheer. They brought their children. Just like a despicable society.
Yeah.
A
a display of depravity, and like there actually aren't words
No.
to accurately describe like some of those videos and what happened there.
They gave the coffins back. They were locked. They gave keys. The keys didn't
work.
open them. Like, it's just the level of psychological terror and warfare. Like, these are not human beings with souls.
Yeah.
These are awful, horrible people. I think the Jewish people are obviously like in mourning today, I think, but for humanity as well. And just talking about the Fosters, they've been very vocal and like just saying the obvious things, which has been really hard for people with no brain cells, I guess.
Like people with a platform and like celebrity, it's become just a big part of like social media culture and celebrity culture, like to take on causes and become advocates for different human rights, a lot of like feminist movements, and to really experience complete radio silence in a matter like this is so devastating. And that's why the Foster sisters to us are like such role models and such fabulous, because they don't give a fuck.
Like scrupled women. That's what we were saying yesterday. And I feel a lot of different ways about social media activism. Like, you don't just need to post something to like say that, hey, like, mark me safe, like, don't come after me. But like the fact that some people wouldn't want people to know, like, hey, I care about this, like, this bothers me. And then there's also other people where they see this and it's like, you don't feel compelled to say something just because what you've seen is so wrong. And it's also the same people who are constantly posting about perceived human rights issues and feminism and all the things that they're worried about. And like, this is seriously the worst thing I could possibly think of.
I couldn't even
think of it. A mother and
it.
her 2 children stolen from their home, not even by the terrorists, the military wing, by civilians who, after the terrorists had come in, they came to loot and ravage the village, and they found them,
rape,
and they found them, and they took them alive to Gaza, and they're coming back in coffins.
Yeah.
And their dad was also taken separately. He came back alive 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I can't only like
these are not people that you can live beside. So once this chapter of releases and exchanges closes, like, it can't go on this way.
No, and this has been a particular part of the story that so many people have been following, because it's such a, I mean, every hostage taken is so terrible, but this one in particular, I think, shook a lot of people, anyone with a kid, but also like just these beautiful children.
With a heart.
It was really just kind of one of the bigger stories from the saga. And I had actually forgotten, like, with all the hoopla in the last couple of days, that the father was returned 2 weeks ago. I had just like forgotten that small part of it. And so that's just another huge part of the tragedy. Like, I don't know how someone like that, how you go on.
I don't know either. After being starved, tortured.
Right, you also just went through like one of the worst things a human can go through.
A Holocaust.
You've been through 500 days of starvation, of torture, of kidnapping, and you returned and your entire family is gone.
Your wife, your children, her parents were killed. They were living in the same kibbutz. Their dog.
It's all so upsetting, like the story itself, but what makes it even harder to come to terms with is the aftermath and the reactions,
the
and
lack
the justification,
of outrage, the silence. They should have been returned immediately,
day one,
and there wasn't.
Well, they never should have been taken.
Of course, but just the world failed them. They failed Israel, Jewish people around the world. It's horrible.
It is, and
then these displays, all the innocent civilians coming out well fed. They get between 2,000 and 3,000 calories of
victims
aid
of genocide
every single day, with their posters that they print and their ceremonies.
They're all overweight, even though they've been starved for 2 days. No, please, I'm not like pussyfooting around it anymore.
It's like once this release, it's over. Like, they can't be this way. You can't live with people like this. This experiment of Land for Peace was a failure, and if they want to live underground, then they don't need a beautiful strip on the sea.
I got a gorgeous tunnel for you.
Go live anywhere else.
So
goodbye.
Just like, seriously, the worst possible end to a 18-month saga. I don't know.
The worst possible end.
Yeah. Now,
we were doing a good job of like keeping the show light, because I felt like, even before, obviously that's what's on everyone's mind today. That's what our mind was on. And then we did our toasty thing and I was feeling a little better, but we had
now I feel worse.
Of course, mention it. Now I feel worse. We are going to find a way to pivot, as we always do. And
let's do that.
Yeah. It's just going to be like
last night.
It's just going to be like a hard left turn. And Claudia didn't throw up.
Just
in her
move
sleep
on.
last
Like
night.
I didn't throw up in my sleep last night, which was amazing, and I only peed once.
And my
in
car
sleep.
parked itself.
Wins are aplenty. Okay, they are abound. This particular hotel has probably the best blackout curtain I've ever had in my
Get
life.
the brand. Like, just peep.
It's like motorized. It's like a whole thing. It's
No,
like
but
built
the
into
fabric,
the wall.
get the fabric
It's not
brand.
even about the fabric. It's about the cut.
She doesn't want solutions.
No, it's been really, really fabulous. Like, I can't stress enough. Like, don't ever, for the next couple of years, don't think that Jackie and I are on bad terms. Like, I'm just never staying at her house again.
No, it's
Even though she just redid my bedroom for me. Sorry.
it's okay. I use it as like a content room.
Yeah. You do make a lot of content in that room.
I do because it's so party and like it's right next to the studio, so it's like my little office.
Okay. What kind of business y'all in? You have an office?
I have an office.
You know,
Except now
also have an office.
I work out of home now.
Well, I have an office out of the home back in New York. I don't know if you know
Oh,
that.
that's true. Oh, I guess you do work out of the home.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Oh, I commute. I'm a commuter.
Commuting, like I was listening to such bops this morning. Timber, Teenage Dream.
It's going down?
Bang Bang. I was having so much fun. It's really important how you like. I know a lot of people commute and it's probably dreadful, but like I
It
feel
sets the
like
tone.
I feel like there are ways, of course, when you're done listening to the toast, where you can make it fun.
I don't want to complain because your husband has been so generous in lending Ben and I his car for the weekend, but his Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, he has the old phone.
He has the old phone, so the cord to connect Apple CarPlay is So I've been driving in silence.
Why don't you turn on 100.7? Why 100?
I don't really know how to do that. And because I've been wearing my hair on a slick back claw clip, I've been driving in silence with a claw clip digging into the.
That's so unsafe.
I know how dangerous it is. It's kind of been like a miserable commute, not to make everything about me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But at least you had your coffee. I mean, you can't have a cigarette, so that's sad.
One thing about
I saw
pregnancy-
someone in front of me at a red light, like ashing their cigarette.
Bogan.
I'm like, got a spare?
Something about being pregnant,
My car pulled up by itself right next to it.
right? Something about being pregnant is like
You really
the days
crave a
are hard.
cigarette.
You don't crave it. The days can be really hard, and sometimes it would just be nice to top off the day with a little cig.
Mm-hmm.
You
Or
know?
what about a drink?
I mean,
No.
in the beginning of pregnancy, I was like on here, and I feel like in the vlog, I was talking about how, I was always really concerned, not concerned, but it always scared me a little bit that like, you would be pregnant for 10 months and then like obviously postpartum, you don't have a drink for like a year. And I'm such a social drinker. I love to go out and have a cocktail. And that was something that really scared me. And then I was like, well, it's actually been amazing. I don't miss alcohol at all. I've been missing alcohol like a little bit more, especially at the wedding when we were at the henna. I don't know if
Right.
I mentioned I went to a multicultural event.
And what ethnicity exactly?
Well, the bride was Moroccan.
Oh, okay.
And the groom was Syrian, but funny story. I won't say it again. When I walked into the henna, exactly. Spoiler alert. When I walked into the henna, it was like on the ocean. I was like, honestly, I would so kill for a cocktail. And then I was on the beach and I was like with all my friends from high school and I was like, oh, I could really use a cocktail. I just find myself more and more saying I could really use a cocktail. Whereas in the beginning, I was like, I don't even miss it.
That's so funny. I was actually thinking, like, when I'm driving, I get, like, really stressed out. I'm like, I kind of need a drink.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, while I drive, just to relax.
I don't know what we are going to talk about on this show. Like when you finally just settle into being a driver, because
I don't think I ever will.
when you're in high school and you get your license, like it's all fun, but eventually it's something where it's like if your mom asks you to go get eggs, you're like, ugh, no. Whereas in high school, you're
not
like,
like-
yeah, I'll go get eggs. Anybody else need anything?
putting down the window, blasting the music. You're just like, ugh.
At some point, it loses its novelty and it just becomes like a means to an end.
So the more I drive, like especially today, like my commute was the same. I was on the same street.
Right.
So it will start to lose its luster. But I do think if you get your license at 16, and then like when does it lose its luster?
I feel like pretty quickly.
I don't know. I'm going on 2 years now, but everything I do is like new sometimes. I also think like this summer, I didn't really drive last summer in the Hamptons at all. This summer, like I plan to. I won't ever stop talking about it.
Yeah. She's like, did you guys know in New York you like, can't make a right on red? One thing about Jackie, if you get in the car with her, it's like you kind of have to know the narration begins.
Like if someone, I feel like a lot of people who know me, not closely, but like acquaintances, probably, I'm actually kind of quiet. I don't talk a lot. And especially like and sometimes I'm tired, but also I'm just not a big talker.
When you talk for a living, like you don't want to talk elsewhere.
I know, I'm kind of shy. I think you guys know that now about me. Like I'm shy. I'm very introverted. That's why I've taken to the internet. And so I think some people are like, wait, this girl like talks for a living and she's not talking to me. Like maybe she doesn't like me. Just get me in the car.
She
Just
doesn't
ask me to drive you
shut
somewhere.
up.
Just ask me to drive you somewhere.
But she's not talking about anything interesting other than what's going on
just
the road.
narrating.
She is narrating like, oh, get out of my lane. I'm like, and sometimes the last time you drove me was 2 days ago after the toast. We had like a lot going on. We had to upload. I'm like busy on my phone, and you're just like, can you believe that red car? I'm like, no, I wasn't paying attention. I'm busy.
Well, okay, sue me.
She's just chatty.
Sue me for being excited. I feel like we should bring back exciting commutes. I know there's also been a lot of discourse recently about like back to office work. And you know,
Jackie doesn't like to
I stopped wading into it after you guys lost your goddamn minds. But like very much like the whole world is on my side now. Like you've seen.
I just want to say, if the CEO of JP Morgan ever becomes single, you absolutely need to pursue him as a life partner because no two people have been more vocal about getting like Americans back in the office than you. And you guys take so much shit for it. You and JP Morgan CEO, what's his name? Jamie
Dimon.
Yeah, he's so classic. Like he's always making, they're like, well, and for some reason, I know he has like a really important job, but for some reason, every time he says something, it's the CEO of JP Morgan. And he's always wading into the remote work conversation, as are you.
I stopped like once, you know, I made my position clear. People didn't like it. I had nothing left to say. So that was it. But now it's back in the conversation. Like people are going back to work. And I would just encourage you to like make it fun. Make the commute fun. Listen to something great. Find a great playlist. Grab a coffee, cigarette, whatever you need.
Grab a cigarette.
Like on your way to work.
Yeah.
And because the thing is, you have to go back to work, regardless of me, you have to go back to the office, right? What do you want to do about it? You want to mope about it? Or you want to make it exciting like you're a teenager again and you just got your first car?
I'm ready for Big Tobacco to start sponsoring the toast. Like, that's kind of money I need to live.
I agree, and I feel like they've been barred by the FCC from advertising everywhere. They can't even, like, advertise on their own packages.
Yeah,
it's like Surgeon General warnings instead.
You will die if you smoke this, and people are still buying it. I love America.
They, like, can't even have their branding on their cigarettes. Like, it comes in just a carton. I don't think there's laws in podcasting yet. This is still the Wild West.
No, there definitely is.
Like Philip Morris,
hit us
call
up.
Us.
We can be bought, and it's for less money than you think.
It depends on for Philip Morris, it's less money than you think.
Right.
Like for a smaller brand, I think it's like more money than you think.
You know, for like a local owned business, you can't afford us. No, I'm kidding. Okay, we actually like dilly-dallied a little too close to the sun.
Yeah, we did. But the good news is that like there's not Wi-Fi here today. I barely have stories up. So
it's just one of those days.
Without further ado, here are the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Smart Mouth, the only mouthwash scientifically proven to eliminate and prevent bad breath for 24 hours with just 2 rinses a day. And as somebody who's married to Ben Soffer, who eats a lot of fragrant foods, I want to say thank you, Smart Mouth, for sponsoring today's show, but also just for existing. Smart Mouth prevents bad breath 12 times longer than the leading brand. Smart Mouth is confidence in a bottle. Its unique dual chamber bottle keeps their 2 powerful solutions separate until you're ready to rinse. When you pour, the 2 solutions will go into a cup and activate the Smart Zinc technology. This zinc ion activation is the key to eliminating and preventing sulfur gas, which is the scientific term for bad breath, and it is the secret to all-day fresh breath. Now, I love that they're taking a scientific approach to really a disease that affects millions of Americans, and not enough people are doing anything about it. And Smart Mouth, they went like this. They said, oh, and they took care of it. And I really appreciate it because I think a lot of options on the market really are just masking temporarily the breath issues, whereas Smart Mouth is like really taking a scientific approach, getting down to business and taking care of things for people like me. And I'm not saying I'm better. I have bad breath too. I'm so conscious of having bad breath, but I'm also, especially now, like I can smell the insides of people's bodies. Like I knew Ben had a hot dog before he even had it. Like it's knew
he was thinking of one.
Smart Mouth is actually for the pregnant swirlies, okay? Like to save you and your nose. So never have bad breath again, and find Smart Mouth at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon, or you can visit smartmouth.com/toast to snag a special discount on your next purchase. That's SmartMouth.com/toast. Don't miss out on 24-hour fresh breath. Your mouth will thank you. Today's episode is also brought to you by Ro. So if you want the fastest working GLP-1 for half the price, Ro has got you. If you're ready to lose an average of 15% of your weight faster, we'll meet the latest offering through Ro. Actually, this morning, I was out to breakfast. So funny. I'm kind of like the queen of GLP-1. Sorry, Oprah, I am. When people come up to me, they're like, I'm on the shot. This girl came up to me today. I thought she was talking about a vaccine. She was like, I'm on the shot. I'm like, what? Oh, you're on the shot. Like people feel the need to tell me because I had the most amazing experience with the GLP-1. I cannot recommend it enough for weight loss. And I think a lot of people like are down, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to get the medication. It feels really inaccessible. They're afraid to talk to their doctor. And Ro is a fabulous option. They offer FDA-approved weight loss vials for half the price of an auto-injector pen without applying insurance or the savings cards and with results that you can see faster. So if you do get prescribed, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. This formula from Eli Lilly hits not one but two hormones to curb hunger with less nausea. Your Ro-affiliated provider can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. You're also going to get support throughout the entire process. You can sign up online from the comfort of your own home, which means no waiting for an in-person doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, unfortunately for Jackie, no commute, you can't drive, and no waiting rooms. If you're looking for faster weight loss, higher confidence, cheaper price, join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen access to GLP-1s with Ro. Go to ro.co/toast to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/toast. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Today's episode is also brought to you by Hiya Health. So typical children's vitamins are really candy in disguise. When I think back on that crap we used to eat as a kid, that's not helping anyone. And Hiya Health is here to change things because a lot of OG kids vitamins are filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar. They've got a ton of chemicals, other gummy additives that kids who are growing just should not be eating. That's why they were created, and they created the superpowered chewable vitamin. Many kids' vitamins have sugar. They're known to contribute to a variety of health issues. Hiya is different. They are made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy additives, and it tastes great, so it's perfect for picky eaters, kids and adults alike. Hiya fills the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide full-body nourishment that kids need with a yummy taste that they love. Formulated with the help of pediatricians and nutritional experts, Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and vegetables. Then it is supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immune system, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. Every single batch is third-party tested for heavy metals and microbiomes in a qualified GMP-compliant lab. They are designed for kids 2 and up, and it is sent straight to your door so parents have one less thing to worry about. My niece is obsessed. She flies across the house when it's time. I think she would eat the whole bottle if she could. She loves playing with the bottle. It has cute little stickers. It's really kid friendly, and she's super picky eater. So we've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order when you go to hiyahealth.com/toast. This deal is not available on the regular website. You have to go to hiyahealth.com/toast and get your kids the full body nourishment that they need to grow into healthy adults.
Thank you, Coach.
It's getting harder to breathe during the ads.
I understand.
Me, I'm a fast talking swirly, but it's getting harder to breathe, period.
You did a good job, but eventually it will be not feasible. So we'll have to
eventually, it might have to be your job because I actually can't breathe.
Where we'll do one ad after every story. People will love that.
You will love it.
You will love it. Our first story in no particular order. The stories are good, but really random today. So just don't judge.
I was going to, but
No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Cynthia Erivo will host the 2025 Tony Awards ceremony. So Cynthia Erivo will host the Tony Awards this June. This marks the first time her hosting. She obviously has a background in Broadway, and now she will play host at the Tony Awards.
That feels right.
I feel like she shouldn't have to work this hard.
I agree. It's kind of
she's so talented. Hosting is for people who don't have conventional talents, like me, and so you make the most of your personality. But when you are this level of singer,
hosting is also not for people who would ever be nominated at this particular event. I'm pretty sure she has been nominated and even won Tonys. You can sit.
Yeah, I mean, this is really great and exciting for the fans.
For them.
I just it's it's hard work.
She's had a hard year. She's been busy working, traveling, promoting, filming.
I do think the Tonys are less cutthroat than the Golden Globes and the Oscars, mostly because people don't really watch them. And no, just straight facts. Because we didn't all see every Broadway show. It's you have to go to Broadway, and then you probably see one show. Even
it's a little niche.
Even if you take a trip to Broadway, you probably see one show, or maybe 2.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're both nominated for Tonys,
what are the odds?
It's very niche, so that's why people aren't as hard about it. I think it's just a small community, and they support their own. So I think everyone be nice to Cynthia, but it's you gotta work really hard. So I just don't know why she would want to do that when she's just so talented.
She's also at a level where you don't have to take gigs like this anymore. It's very much an up and coming kind of thing.
Yeah, unless she wants to do more hosting, in which case I would say again, why?
Yeah, I don't think she wants to do more hosting. People who are given roles like Alphabet, they don't have hosting is something you kind of have to do.
Yeah,
not want.
Yeah, or it's if the career is stalled or whatever, but all she has to do is sing, and the jobs will come.
Yeah, I feel at first I was oh, this is duh, sure, give it to Cynthia. But why would she want to work this hard?
Yeah, and hopefully she'll sing during the show, maybe do an opening musical number, a
medley.
Jackman.
Yeah.
But again, that's a lot of work. Why?
You think Sutton and Hugh will be there? Maybe
I do.
Me too, because they're
they're out
the
and
toast
about.
of Broadway.
She's the toast of the town. Mm-hmm. He's been the toast.
They were the toast last year, but they weren't a couple while they were doing The Music Man.
Together they are a sandwich.
They are so Broadway.
Yeah. Hear the sounds of marching feet on the avenue I'm taking you to 42nd Street.
It's party. Somebody yesterday sounded off in the comments as we had requested, what is the antonym of pargy? I don't know if you saw it, but garbage. I thought that was really good.
That's too beautiful.
I thought it was really good.
I'm open. Someone said nargy.
Yes, me. I said that twice on the show yesterday.
And I stand by that it shouldn't rhyme with pargy.
Okay. Oh, and I meant to tell you this offline, but it could be an online conversation as well. The way we've been saying, like, you know, we take a word and we manipulate it, gorgeous, gargy, and now we're saying pargy. We're saying it like Perchy, the queen's boyfriend. Porchy?
I know. That's what we already had this conversation like a few months ago. Remember, we were we were having a parge off.
Oh.
You actually talked about it on the show. You said something so funny when you were like, that loaf is so Queen Elizabeth's little boyfriend.
Can I tell you?
Archie.
When you are as funny as I am, but you also have like such a bad memory, life is so exciting because you're constantly being reminded of hysterical things you said.
No, or you get to like experience it twice.
Yet
like
again.
The first time you laugh so hard.
Porchy.
And the second time.
That's hilarious.
No, but literally we were going back and forth. I think I made a pargy loaf. And so we were saying this loaf is pargy.
Did you make a pargy loaf in the sense that you made a loaf of bread, or you took a good poop?
In the sense that I made a loaf of bread, because we weren't both standing around the toilet bowl talking about it.
But wouldn't it have been fun if we were?
Maybe next time. And I said, this loaf is like Queen Elizabeth's little boyfriend. Parchy. And you
That's
laughed.
funny. Like, that is a funny joke.
And you laughed so much in the moment, and then you came on the show and you told everyone the funny thing that I said. So they will remember. The North remembers.
That's so nice of me to like highlight a funny offline moment of yours.
Yeah. So.
I just want to say I'm in hell. Oh, no, I'm not. I thought I forgot my Tums. Whew.
Oh, I'm glad for you.
I'm also ready for my sponsorship, just saying.
Okay. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Do you take one or two?
One.
I feel like you take two.
In a sitting? Like
I
you take two Advil?
I take two in a sitting. The back says like one or two, but like, why not two?
Oh, that's very interesting. I've always only taken one. Also, in my pregnancy, like if I really took a Tum every time I was even remotely uncomfortable, I'd have 15 a day. I try to keep it to like
only have like 5 a day.
Actually, Dr. Fox, I said, is there such thing as like overdosing? He was like, no. And then somebody in my DMs was like, I got a kidney stone when I was pregnant from how many Tums I took.
Read the back. It says how many you should take in 24 hours.
Dr. Fox says they're a great source of calcium, but of course, consult your doctor.
But you could have like calcium overdose. You could overdose on calcium. Very sad.
Why is there a section of this label that says inactive ingredients? Like, why would I need to know what's not in here?
That's not what it is. That's not what that means. That's not in there.
Do not take more than 7 tablets in 24 hours. Okay, I'm keeping it under 4.
And also the fact that it's an odd number means at one point, like, you did take just one.
Well, when you take 2 at a time.
Yeah, then I can only go to 6 and then, like, I get a bonus one.
Yeah, I guess like right before bed, like a little top off.
No, that's when you need the 2. Maybe in the morning, a little. Start the day, ease in.
Not to rub in, but they leave a chocolate on my pillow at this hotel. You never did that at your house. And it's a caramel chocolate.
I actually did do that once. Like one Valentine's Day, I got you heart chocolate.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. I mean, they do it every night at this place.
Sure.
And it's usually, I think, like chocolates on your pillow. They give you like the worst shit chocolate. Like, I don't know where they picked this up from. This one was a caramel milk chocolate. It was really good.
Yummo.
Yeah, and now I know why I'm like choking on my own vomit in my sleep because I'm eating caramel milk chocolate before bed.
You have to stop eating like after. You have to have dinner and be done. And it's really hard. That's seriously the hardest part.
Yeah, I'd rather throw up in my sleep, honestly.
Oh, okay. Then just wait.
Going to bed without
not
supper?
Not to be a just wait, but just wait.
Going to bed without supper is not an option for me.
No, supper and then call it a night.
Sorry, going to bed without 2 suppers.
Okay.
It's not an option for me.
Our next story, Olivia Munn is recalling a traumatic experience on a movie set and a disrespectful 7-figure settlement that she turned down. Damn. So Olivia Munn went on Monica Lewinsky's podcast called Reclaiming.
Okay, I've heard of none of this.
And she shared that while filming a movie, which she did not specify, however, like people are speculating.
She also hasn't done like a million movies.
And she talks about the time that it was in. So it's like we can figure it out.
IMDb.
There's no Wi-Fi.
Oh, right. Wi-Fi's out today.
She said that she had a traumatic experience that led her reporting issues to the movie studio. So she said, I had to file complaints with the studio, and there's a lot of other things that go along with it, but I got to this place where I was offered a lot of money. 7 figures to accept, I guess, their apology and then taking acknowledgement of it.
But 7 figures is minimum $10 million, but it could be 99, right?
Minimum $1 million.
Oh, my God. Wait.
7 figures is $1 million. So between 1 and 9 million.
Oh, that was like really embarrassing. Oh, I don't know why. When you say like six figures, I think of like the 6 zeros.
I understand.
You understand how I got to this place, but it's unacceptable either way.
It's just like, and it also really changes things because no, she wasn't offered up to $100 million.
$99 million. Okay.
So she was offered.
Because honestly, when I thought it was between 10 and 99 million, I'm like, damn, even I'm not that scrupled. Like, take the money.
Of course.
But between
that's
1 and
life-changing
9,
money. It doesn't matter what happens next because you can retire.
Right, between 1 and 9 is different for somebody at her tax bracket.
And I also feel like it's leaning closer to 1 because I feel like when it's like 5 million, people will say mid 7 figures, right?
When it's 5, right.
Or they'll say high 7 figures.
No, you can manipulate this type of language to like either
people do it all the time. And like I'm reading their like Business Insider thing. I'm like, how much money? And it's confounding and it's intentionally like confusing. And she didn't want to say. So when I read this, I'm seeing $1 million. Okay, cool mil, just $1 million.
2 or 3.
She said 7 figures to accept, I guess, their apology, them taking acknowledgement, and signing an NDA.
Yikes.
She says she never considered discussing publicly what took place on the set. She just wanted to move on past it all. Still, she did not want to sign the NDA. She noted that these events took place during the resurgence of the Me Too movement, which gained momentum in 2017. So in 2018, she was filming a movie called The Predator. So that's what we can glean. What happened.
Okay.
Something happened. She reported it. They wanted her to sign an NDA and take this money to like not say anything about it publicly, which she didn't sign it. She didn't say anything like until now. But she actually made a really good point in addition to, all the fire points that she made, which she said that comes into the feistiness and about thinking things through and being so upset and frustrated that this would be the offer to me. I did not think about negotiating. I did not think about anything besides how disrespectful that was. Right. She said that like if she had signed it, she was afraid that then the studio would leak that she signed an NDA and people would like say, oh, you only did it for the money. She was afraid that her voice and speaking up would just reverse any kind of validity to her voice. Because like
the fact that these are things you have to think about, like if you go through something traumatic, take the money. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't know, $1 million to Olivia Munn. Like, is that worth?
No.
Is that worth also kind of the potential of losing your credibility?
No,
that's how
not.
she felt.
And once you get a label like that as a woman in Hollywood, like they just destroy you with it. So it is powerful. And you're right. When I thought it was 7 figures, like 10 to $99 million.
Sure, take my credibility.
Yeah, right. Who cares about credibility? I have a mansion.
Like I'm retired and I have a yacht.
But in California, with those high taxes, but also I do wonder.
This would be less than $500,000 after taxes. Like
she's now married to John Mulaney, who does extremely well financially.
You think?
1,000%. Like
how much?
He tours nonstop.
Okay.
He tours arenas. He has multiple Netflix specials. I'm sure he had like a multi,
like a $20 million 3 special deal.
Correct. He's just kind of the darling of like he's one of the highest paid comedians right now.
Okay.
So are you asking for like?
So what were you going to say next?
Oh, so like her financial situation now is different, but I think in 2018 at the time, like she's not a really like successful actress. She's like a successful famous person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that money actually could have meant more to her than we realize. Because I'm thinking of her now, like I know she lives in this like beachfront oasis, but she's in a different financial situation now than she was in 2018. Because I never even heard of this movie, The Predator. Okay, so she's obviously like taking roles for the work. She's like a working actress. Yeah, and $1 million is a lot to a working actress, even if it was minimum $1 million.
Yeah, so good for her.
1,000% scrupled. It's very Brianna chicken fry.
Right, but she was offered like so much more. That's even crazier.
Did you see the bar fight that Zach Bryan got into?
I saw that he got into a bar fight.
Which is uninteresting because he's like
loser.
The bar fight type. Like he has the body of somebody who just fights in bars. But the more interesting thing is that like the whole thing was recorded on a pair of those like Ray-Ban Meta AI because the guy was like, I don't even know who you are. It's like, well, why are you recording on your Ray-Ban glasses? So the whole thing is kind of like from a visual perspective. You see him at like truly
like POV, fighting Zach Bryan.
And then I think he said like, you're so gay or something. And everybody's like,
Zach Bryan said that?
Yeah, he used the G word and not a positive.
In a negative way.
Correct, which I don't think there's a positive way to use the G word in a bar fight.
No, but there's a positive way to use that word. Like it means happy also.
Oh, of course. And like gay is fabulous. But it wasn't, Zach Bryan was not saying gay is fabulous.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. So not a good day to be Zach Bryan.
No. So go Olivia Munn.
Go
Munn.
And look at you have to see women in podcasting making news.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for our next story, which is some interesting news that people are talking about that we hadn't spoken about? But there is a woman on the internet named Bonnie Blue. I think like separately we've each heard of her, and she
comes up all over my Twitter. I found everything I know about this woman, which is quite a lot, I know against my will.
Like I know because she's doing people's podcasts and I get clips. And then recently she did Sophia with an F, which I follow. So I got like a lot of her stuff, but I already knew who she was. And she is famous for sleeping with 1,000 men.
She's like an OnlyFans creator. She's like a sex worker creator, but recently shot to fame because she does these challenges. First, she did like 100 men in 12 hours. And the most recent one that shook the internet was she slept with 1,000 men in a day. And I actually think she went over by
She did 1,057 men in under 24 hours.
Overachiever.
A couple things. First, there's another girl who does this too. They're like
they're both blonde British girls.
Yeah.
It's extremely confusing because they each do challenges, like clickbait challenges. Come with me. Get ready with me. To fuck 1,000 guys.
I saw the other girl because I saw her like describing like her labiaplasty.
I think her name is Lily. And I just want to say something. And I'm going to say the thing that I feel like you're not supposed to say as a woman, okay? I think that this is disgusting. Like, I know we're supposed to support, like, embrace the sexual revolution. We've revolutionized a little too close to the sun. I think that this is disgusting. I think this person is disgusting. Like, and I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to like support all women. I don't support this. I think this is disgusting. Like, what on earth would come besides money? But even at some point, there's not enough money in the world to make you do certain things.
No, and like honestly, sleeping with 1,000 randos, is that the best? If it's about money, is that the best way to get paid? Like you could become like a high-end prostitute. You could make more money and sleep with less people and like, you know, protect that bit of yourself a bit more. Like, and I know of course we're not supposed to shame, but like this is really shameful.
I agree. I'm having a hard time being like a supportive woman now.
I don't think you're expected to be a supportive woman. Okay. Like this is beyond the pale.
No, and I think we took it too far.
If as a society we can't say like this is not the greatest thing for women, then we've completely lost the plot. So I do think it's important that we can say that.
Plot. Like I think we took it really too far. You know, at first it was like we're not calling prostitutes, it's sex worker, and it's a beautiful thing. And it was all good. And now I'm just like, should we stop? Like, we're doing a lot. So I just want to say before we dive into whatever, she's pregnant, right? That's the story?
So the story is that she is apparently pregnant. Now, Maury Povich has waded in and said, good luck to Bonnie. Like, I don't want to be a part of this because the question is, like, who's the father when there's 1,000 men in 24 hours? And that's not to mention all the other hours of the other days.
And her personal life. This is her professional life.
I can't imagine she would do this challenge when she's ovulating.
Okay. I can't imagine she's not on any birth control. The thing is, it's not been confirmed that she's pregnant.
I know you might be on birth control, but like when you have like 1,000 semen counts,
it's only 99% effective. So if there's 1,000 semens, you have like
if on your day of ovulation, like you will most likely get pregnant. I have to imagine she didn't do this on ovulation day. This seems like a follicular phase sort of thing.
Also, are they ejaculating inside of her?
I think so.
In order to count, like.
Yeah, I believe so. Definitely with, I can't say definitely, and I didn't watch, and I'm sure if you watch, like, you would know, but probably with a condom.
So it's not confirmed that she's actually pregnant, and I do feel like so much of her...
Actually, maybe not with a condom. I do think they all get tested.
Not with a condom?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's not confirmed that she's pregnant, and
no love.
So much of her career is, like, clickbait, and so I think there's a possibility that this is not true. And if it is true, I'm feeling conflicted because this might be the one thing that could save this girl, you know? Like, but I do feel she's too far gone. I don't think there's anything that's going to like bring her back.
Yeah, especially because when you see clips of her, it doesn't seem like she's lost her mind.
No, she's extremely sound of mind. She's very proud of herself.
She is. Like, she explains like her rationale for doing some of the things that she does, like how she has sex with like a father and son and says it's like so good for their relationship. How she has sex with like college or school
jailbait.
Yeah, they're not minors, but they're very, very young, like schoolboys or what. That sounds like elementary school, but in Britain it's like college.
Uni.
And she says how it's like better that they have this experience with her than someone else because she's a safe space. Like
everyone's fucking her without a condom.
But they're getting tested and maybe mental health counseling she provides.
Okay, so I had seen a clip on Twitter.
And it's also, she's also good for married men who want to have an affair because they're not, like, she's not connecting with them in an emotional way. So, like, here, come, like, drop your sperm and leave.
Actually, like, I'm a nice girl. I really can't handle this conversation. I saw a clip of her. She was like getting upset. I'm like, oh my God, is she finally like having remorse for like this disgusting life she leads? No, she had like fucked, like it was one of her challenges, like 75 guys in 75 minutes or whatever. And she started crying because she felt like really upset that like some of the guys didn't get enough time with her. I'm like, she's fucking crazy.
She's
like,
crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say the thing. Like, I hate this bitch. I think she's disgusting. And like the words that you're not supposed to think and use for a woman, like I think of her, like she's a slut. I'm sorry. Like I hate it. Not even a slut. Like this is biblical. She's literally like a whore. I'm sorry. It's disgusting.
It is. You know what? The other labiaplasty
And I don't want to hear it from like the women. Turdy, like we have to support. We don't actually. So many bitches are not supportive of me. Okay, so I'm not going to be supportive of the woman who slept with 1,000 guys. Okay, and now was pregnant.
I understand. The labiaplasty girl. And now
La
I remember.
vaginoplasty.
I remember how I discovered her because I saw a clip. She was on a podcast, and I don't remember who she was talking to, but I feel like it was someone like conservative.
It's Candace Owens. I know what you're talking about. And yes, she was on the Full Send podcast, or one of those podcasts where they brought together this like professional whore.
I think it was the way I remembered. I think it was a man. But tell me what happened.
And this very conservative woman. It was kind of like a great experiment. They brought like these two, and they had them out. And I think Candace was like, Jesus will save you. Is your mother okay with this? Let me be your mother. And the woman was like, I'm fine. Get the fuck away from me. Like it was really fucking crazy.
Okay, what I saw was, I think it was a man. I think it was, I don't remember who it was.
And I think she also did an interview that went viral on Piers Morgan.
Maybe it was Piers Morgan, but I feel like I would have remembered that. It was someone talking to labiaplasty Lily. And at the end of
like so losing in the fame game of being a professional whore.
Right, which is good for her, actually. Yeah. I think she, stated her claims throughout the interview, and at the end of the interview, the guy was like, "I just want you to know that you have choices." And
it's Piers Morgan.
And he gave her like a really uplifting speech. I don't know if it affected her whatsoever, but it was nice to hear. He was just like, "You are loved. You have choices. You don't have to do this if you are not happy." It was like really nice of him.
Yeah, in that clip and also the one with Candace Owens that went viral, there was like a lot of like body language experts tuning in, and there was like a pretty big group of people who thought that both the interviews really got through to her. She's been kind of quiet ever since, so maybe.
That's beautiful.
But I think she's been quiet because Bonnie said, "Hold my beer. I'm going 1,000."
Yeah,
she's batting 1,000.
Should we have Bonnie on here and maybe talk to her?
No. Because you want to know what? Like, I will not participate in this.
I agree. Like,
I think I feel
it's also really not my problem. Like, I don't know her. She's like so.
This is not my place.
She's she's just someone else's problem. Like,
yeah, she's not even American. Like, it's not even an American problem.
It's not America's problem. I'm sure we have our own problems, and
Who's our Bonnie? Who's like the American Bonnie?
Someone's going to step up to the plate.
I'm actually really glad we don't have one. Like, that comes to mind immediately. I'm sure there are people who do this for a living, but like, we have a lot of issues in our country. So just like, leave us out of this one.
Yeah. So that's how I feel. So that's why like I wouldn't invite her on the toast. But it's actually cool that she went on Sophia with an F, like cool for Sophia.
I actually wouldn't invite her on the toast because I just sat here and called her a whore and a slut.
I think
I would feel weird.
I actually think she wouldn't care. I think she'd say thanks, like you see me.
And at what point, like, it's kind of harks back to what we were saying at the beginning of the show. I'm not saying anything mean. I'm saying truthful. Whores have sex for money. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's just facts.
Yeah. I wonder how much she gets paid. I feel like it's not enough.
I feel so much better having said that. Like, I'm just like tired of pretending like I have to support all women, I don't. And I don't know when I pretended because you guys know I don't.
Yeah. I will be shocked if like anything about what we just said is controversial.
No, I'm telling you
like it feels very obvious.
No, it's like all about the sexual revolution. And to be honest.
I just don't think this is what they meant.
No, that's what I mean. We revolutionized far too close to the sun.
Yeah. What's the opposite of revolution?
Retreat. I don't know. It's just like stop. Yeah. What is the antonym of revolution?
If we had Wi-Fi, we could go to thesaurus.com. Let's see. Like regression.
Oh yeah. Let's regress. The sexual regression. I'm all for it.
Source.con. Yeah, no Wi-Fi. Moving on to our next story.
What number?
You're not ready.
Oh, I'm not ready. Okay.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Shit. Oh, fuck. I'm so not ready. Hold on. What number is it? 4?
It's number 4, but things are about to like get weird from here. So yeah, this is when the Wi-Fi crept up.
So is it the 4th story that's brought to you by CoverGirl, perchance?
Yes, it is.
So, very exciting to be working with CoverGirl for the first time. Super boost your lashes with new Lash Blast Super Cloud Mascara from CoverGirl. So, if you're looking for weightless length, light as air lift, check out their air wrapped formula. It's infused with vegan collagen, vitamin B5, and amino acid. If you want to experience up to 24-hour clump-free, smudge-free, flake-free wear, it's gentle on your lashes, it's easy to remove. Check it out. This dual-sided Cloud Flex brush wraps and extends your lashes, so the short bristles will load and lift your lashes while the long bristles will separate and lengthen them. I feel like CoverGirl has been, since I'm born, killing the mascara game. Like, no matter what your budget is, no matter where you're shopping, CoverGirl mascaras are the best, and every time they do a launch, it's actually like shakes the community. And of course, today is no different. Of course, it's only from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl. CoverGirl is also fabulous because we enjoy using clean, vegan, cruelty-free beauty products like this one. And I love a mascara. Like, I have a lot of needs for a mascara. It's not just lengthen. It's not just volumize. It's all. I need you to separate. I need you to lengthen. I need you to volumize. I need you to lift. And so to find a product that does all of those things is not easy.
I know you can't see Claudia's eyes, but I'm actually wearing this mascara today if you want to see it. And for me, you know what else I need in addition to all of those things? I need to color my brows. I need something with a wide wingspan that's going to get in every individual lash and make it brown because they're naturally blonde.
So the product is perfect for any makeup look, whether you're going for something edgy and bold, casual day, you're just commuting to work, you've got a date night, if you're doing the clean girl look. It's really a very, very versatile product. The product itself is called the CoverGirl Lash Blast Super Cloud Mascara. You can find it wherever you shop CoverGirl. And it's absolutely imperative that you get this mascara, because if you have lashes like mine, and lashes change your whole face, CoverGirl understands that. I just feel like they're really a brand that you can trust when it comes to mascara. I've been using them since I first started using makeup, and I never really left their aisle at the store. So it's only from Easy Breezy Beautiful. CoverGirl. Today's episode is also brought to you, by a new sponsor that I'm really excited about. I know Jackie is too. Riley and Crew Collective. So they combine art and imagination to offer unique clothing for modern children and moms. So their collections feature hand-drawn illustrations paired with beautiful muted tones and timeless designs. Riley and Crew is more than just a clothing brand. It's a one-stop shop that caters to you and your children at every stage of life, whether it's welcoming the newest member of your family in Quincy May, dressing your child in Riley and Crew for their first day of school, or celebrating special occasions in a Nora Lee dress. They have an outfit for every occasion. And it was founded in 2014 by a mom, of course, Kelly, and her team designs all the pieces and illustrates all the art that you see on their clothing. Their team of in-house designers creates really unique styles that you can't find anywhere else. She also founded the baby basics brand, Quincy May, and their children's occasion wear brand, Nora Lee. So they have you covered for all different days of the week when it comes to your kids.
Days of the week.
As the spring and summer season nears, thankfully, Riley and Crew, Quincy May, and Nora Lee are currently launching their 25 collections. So shop all the fresh new styles for the warm season ahead. They're so cute. It's also a great gift. I feel like I was just having this conversation with somebody that so many of the things that they registered for were baby clothes, and they just have such a great wardrobe to pass down from their kids and to the hand-me-downs. And Riley and Crew is a great option if you're looking for a gift for somebody who just got a baby, they got one in the mail, who just had a baby. And go to RileyandCrew.com/TheToast. You can use our code TOAST for 15% off your first order. That's RYLEEANDCRU.com/TheToast. Our code is TOAST for 15% off orders of first-time customers. So check it out.
Thank you, Turtle.
You're welcome.
Our next story, Delta is offering passengers who were on the plane that crashed in Toronto and flipped over, they're offering passengers $30,000 in exchange for their experience.
I have two things to say.
They're also saying that the offer is coming with no strings attached, which is really big of them.
I didn't see anybody say this. Have you ever seen the Denzel Washington movie, Flight?
No.
So let me tell you, it's actually such a good movie.
You've seen it?
Yes. Why are you doubting me?
I thought you were just going to tell me the plot and be like,
how would I know the plot if I didn't see it? Oh, it's not based on a true story.
Okay.
That's what makes this whole thing so freaky. Okay. So he's kind of this amazing pilot, Denzel Washington. He just has this small issue of alcoholism, okay? So the movie starts, he's waking up hungover.
It can be stressful.
Of course. He's waking up hungover, and he takes off on a flight. And immediately something goes wrong on the plane. It's not him. But before things go wrong, he's making himself mimosas, sneakily taking those little airplane and being nuts. At the same time, the plane malfunctions, having nothing to do with him or his alcoholism. And he ends up...
but he's obviously just not of sound mind to deal with it.
But actually, he dealt with it in kind of the most incredible way. Like, he ends up flying the plane upside down, landing upside down, and of like the 100 passengers, I think maybe 3 people died. One was like a flight attendant who wasn't buckled in. She was helping this kid. So he's a hero. He managed to do the impossible, and the plane lands upside down. And that's the similarity I wanted to make, but let me just tell you what ends up happening. So I end up doing an investigation, and there's like, you know, unaccounted for empty bottles, and they like figure it out, and it's this whole thing, but because it's like, well, these people did die, but even if he wasn't drunk, he was an amazing pilot. Like, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
How do we, what's the moral equivocation? I think he ends up going to jail. All that to say, when I saw this upside down Delta flight, I was like, oh my God, Denzel, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so it wasn't an upside down Delta flight. They landed, they like crashed landed.
It was a bad landing, and it flipped.
They landed too hard and it flipped. And
the videos have gone viral, of course, of the plane upside down on the tarmac, but then people filming themselves getting out of this upside down plane. Nobody died.
Which is amazing.
Amazing. And we've just kind of been, this is like the last, the like third or fourth in a couple of flight things where everybody's like, what's going on? And we're just waiting to find out like whose fault it is.
Yeah, exactly. But
now
in the
Delta
meantime, Delta said that they're offering $30,000 to each passenger who was aboard the flight from Minneapolis that crashed and flipped upside down this week while trying to land in Toronto. All 80 people who were on the flight survived after the jet made the rough landing. 21 were taken to hospitals, but they are offering $30,000, no strings attached.
Now, there's a lot of theories about whose fault this is, and I just want to say, as somebody who's had the great misfortune of flying in and out of Toronto Pearson a couple of times, it's 1,000% that airport's fault. It is the worst airport on the planet. Just
in
saying.
What sense? Like, what about
Everything.
it makes it something where you like fall, like where you flip over?
It's just like it's kind of the atmosphere. Like, it's such a toxic place. Like, only bad things can happen there. I'm telling you, it's Toronto Pearson's fault.
Well, we'll see whose fault it actually is.
Right.
I think like people have been watching the landing, saying they landed way too hard, like it's a pilot error. We'll find out.
A mechanic's error? We'll find out.
Now, I never really, like when something so terrible happens, you're just like lucky to have your life in a situation like this. Like, what should and could the airline do for you? And it's like, you can't really put a price on it. But if you were to, like $30,000 seems low.
Well, yes. So I saw this. Ben told me. We were like talking about it. And I'm like, well, I hope nobody takes it. Because first of all, it impacts their ability to sue. They all have to band together. If any of them takes it, like, it's not good. And then I watched this video that the Points guy, Brian Kelly, shared. And he was like, actually, they're still allowed to sue. This is just like Delta, I think, like PR-wise. $30,000 to what, like 100 passengers max is really nothing to them. But here we are talking about like how magnanimous it is.
That's literally not what I'm saying.
Oh, but that is what people are saying.
Really?
Yeah, like, no, like it's not a contract and it's not a settlement. It's just like you went through something traumatic. Here's
no, it's
30K
like when your
for
flight's
now.
delayed, here's 5,000 miles.
Right.
Now it's like your flight landed upside down, here's $30,000.
Exactly. That's exactly what. That's a perfect. Yes.
And that I understand, like they're inkling to do something like that. As I said, I hadn't thought about a price, but this just feels low. Like, hey, we almost killed you. Here's $30K.
Yeah.
You've had a traumatic experience. You'll probably need, counseling.
Is this like is this just a flat amount? Is there room for negotiation?
I think this is a flat amount. They're saying no strings attached, which is like so sweet of them.
Beyond.
What kind of strings would they attach? Like, oh, you can only spend it at Delta. Classic. It's a credit.
That's 1,000% what it is. You have to read the fine print. It's $30,000 in the form of a gift card.
30,000 miles.
Now, if you're going through this, are you ever flying again? No. Like, now I understand, like, Travis Barker. Like, there are these celebrities who have these famous stories. Whoopi Goldberg. She was like, I don't think I am. Because I'm the type of person, I have like an inconvenient flight, like where somebody's rude to me, I'm like, I'm never flying again. It takes very little for me to like stop flying. I think flying is like one of the most miserable experiences on the planet. So and I've actually never been in danger on a flight that I know of. So if I'm actually in active danger and everything's, like, I'm never getting on a fucking flight again. So I'll take 30 G's.
You might have PTSD too.
Of course.
It's not just being like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. No, it's fully traumatizing.
Yeah. So, just doesn't seem like enough. I don't know what they could do.
Are you taking the 30K?
I don't know what they could do, but I do think like accountability is a good place to start. Like, get the black box.
Well,
and
I'd
also,
love to know whose fault it
where's
is.
the black box from the other plane? Like, I feel like these things are kind of falling out of the conversation.
Where is Malaysia flight?
I love how we all know what a black box is.
Because of Malaysia flight.
Yeah.
We all, I never heard of black box before
Malaysia. Of course,
Malaysia.
but now anytime something happens with a plane, we're like, well,
get me the black box.
Get me the black box. And I just feel like
I need a movie called Black Box.
We're not getting enough black box
footage.
Intelligence.
Recordings. It's just audio, right?
It's like everything. It's that's why like it's such a famed thing. It's like everything that happened inside the plane. Somehow it's in the box.
Show it to me, please. Send it to me, Rachel.
Right, and they have the black box from DC. What happened?
Release the tapes.
I think the helicopter probably had a black box too.
Delta Airlines, welcome to your tape.
And we need the black box here. That's where you could start. We'll talk $30K later.
I just want to say, aviation expert Brian Kelly says, like, these people should and could take it. I watched his video.
I don't know. I feel like Olivia Munn.
Never settle.
You can buy me, and if you could, your price is too low.
I just want to say, you can buy me.
For $30K?
Well, it's all relative, right? Like, and I think that...
After taxes?
Well, after taxes, yeah. They should cover the taxes, Delta. That would be huge. Then I would think about it. But the people on the plane, that's also like money's relative to all different people. So some people maybe use their last $100 to get on this flight, and $30K is like life-changing money. Some people are, in a different spot. So it's all relative.
I know. I feel like what I'm saying is get more.
Yeah, of course.
Get more.
Because Delta can afford it.
Yeah. So we shall see. Our fifth and final story is actually just going to be a summer house recap, if that's okay. Like the Wi-Fi ran out, the time is running out as well, and there's nothing less to talk about, and we want to talk about Summer House.
So I happen to have really enjoyed last night's episode of Summer House. Lindsay Hubbard was making me laugh so much. I love her level of unbothered. I like that she didn't even say hi to Carl when she did. She was like,
"Hey, Carl."
And he had like this big expectation for this. And she was like, "What's up? I'm just cleaning up. You can't stop me from cleaning." I love that level of unbotheredness. And I really wish that was what Sierra was giving in last night's episode, because there were these two awkward reunions.
And if anything, the couple that was engaged should have been more with awkward and more feelings. And she's so moved on. It's not even like she's treating him poorly because she's mad. She's not mad. She's not sad. She's not glad.
She don't give a fuck.
She doesn't care. And that's the best place to be in.
And so with Sierra, she's so clearly still hurt and still has feelings. I couldn't believe she even said that thing, like, I hate you, but I want you to kiss me. So the reason why she's kind of at a disadvantage is because she's operating from that place, and Wes is operating from a place where, I actually think he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And that's just the worst thing to feel for Sierra. So she's getting mad, and she's looking like she cares because she does. And so she's looking just sort of like a dog with a bone a little bit, whereas he's just sitting there silently. And I do feel like
just waiting for it to be over. He knows he has to take his punishment, and there's going to be conversations about it. And he's not responding because he just wants it to be over. And there's nothing that he can say that will make it better, because if he defends himself or tries to justify what he did, will be how could you even defend yourself?
Yeah.
And then if he admits to it, even though I don't think that's how he feels, so he can't defend himself, so therefore he is saying nothing, which is infuriating, especially if you're someone like Sierra who still cares. And it's even though you're fighting, he's talking to you.
Yeah, no, and I just feel like she came at it the wrong way, because she insisted on having this conversation about something that was really personal to her. She was obviously really hurt by this New York Times article, and I get it. But she came at it having this conversation in front of everybody, and kind of demanded that they have it in front of everybody, then made fun of his hair. She just didn't handle it well, to the point where I was like, well, I agreed with you, but leave him alone. And up until this point, I haven't felt even remotely in defense of Wes. I'm like, everything that's coming your way, agreed, you deserve it, bad, boo, boo, tomato. But I do feel at this point, it's a couple of months after the reunion, he's probably been sufficiently punished.
And he's taken, even though for some reason he's getting all these write-ups from major press.
Why the fuck is the New York Times interviewing him?
I have no idea. But I do feel we know he was so made fun of. We made fun of him so hard.
Endlessly.
It's a new season. He's not my favorite at all, but I'm
tabula rasa.
He's here. He's in the house. We have to watch him. So just do whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I agree. It was overkill a little bit if we're not going to move forward, and there's nothing that he can do to remedy this situation. This will always be a demerit
in his column,
but we're still on the show, so let's have something new to do.
Sierra's voice was just shaking the whole time, and she just so clearly really still cares about him, while also fighting with him and being mean to him about his hair. And so it looks silly, and you don't look like you're winning at all, because you so care, and that's fine, but have those conversations, have real conversations. I'm sure if they had a one-on-one outside, not in front of everybody, maybe not at night when there was cocktails around, they could have had a more productive conversation. But both of their conversations were kind of fruitless.
But I also think their conversations are going to go nowhere, because I don't know what she wants out of him, what he could possibly say. I don't think she will ever feel like she got what she wanted from a conversation with him, because what she wants is him to want her more. But she couldn't even take him back because he disrespected her. So there's just there's no path forward, and like they were friends but they got together so quickly. So like to go back to that friendship, like it's not like long-standing history. Even Lindsay and Carl have given up on their long-standing
reunion.
friendship. So
And I don't think that lasts long. I think that like Carl and Lindsay, who this episode, like they were very well behaved, ambivalent, like, but I do think it gets contentious at some point, which I'm really not looking forward to. I really prefer Lindsay in her unbothered era.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to me.
It really is. And as she should be, and she should be peaceful and she should be happy. And it seems like she is. So I need the storyline to move on from Wes and Sierra because there's
Agreed.
nothing left there. There just isn't. And I actually understood him when he was like and he's such a loser for caring like what the fans think about him. And that
Big
being
time.
his like driving force. And he can't
Motivator.
just like live his life without thinking about how it's going to play. Like,
And Sierra was giving him good advice, being like, you're up one day, you're down the next. Like, stop living your life for these people.
Live your life and the rest will come. But I understand, like, after the reunion, like, biggest loser on earth.
On the planet.
Weirdly, the New York Times wants to interview him. He has his chance to, like, defend himself. So, like, why wouldn't he do that? I understood what he said when he said that he never thought that the things that he said in that article would be so bothersome to Sierra. He's just kind of, like, explaining again what happened.
Right, because what happened was that these two, he broke up with her because he didn't think that was his person. And so, like, while that's hurtful to hear, it's honest and it's truthful and it's not mean. It's just nobody wants to hear that.
And she was talking a lot about the article and things that he said, and I thought about going to read it.
No, I didn't.
But I
That's
didn't.
funny. It didn't even cross my mind.
But I don't have a New York Times subscription, so I just didn't want to like deal with the paywall.
Yeah. But no, the pull quotes was that like,
he said she's not my person.
And that really hurts to hear, but like that's a breakup, right? When you don't think that's your person.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's kind of like an unfortunate truth. Now, I want to talk about Bailey. Have you seen the rumors about Bailey?
I sent it to you.
I didn't see that you sent it to me.
On Reels.
Well, she's kind of like this weird character who like was never properly introduced.
She's not in the group cast photos.
She's giving friend of, but she's like a full-time resident of the home.
By the way, it's still the first weekend. I feel like we just need to mention that. We're getting 3 episodes of the first weekend. Today is Saturday. They arrived on a Thursday. Last week was Thursday. Today is Saturday. And next week is the Saturday party. So I'm a little miffed about that.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
It's a little annoying.
Well, they have to do that because they all go back to the city on the weekdays.
Yes. This episode, I enjoyed parts of it because there was like, I like the people, but nothing happened. It was like a little bit of a waste of time.
Okay, well, I enjoyed it, but I guess, nothing happened. So the rumors about Bailey, because there's definitely like a weirdness there. It's like, is she on the show or not? The rumors are that like she was very much cast as a full-time swirly. We were supposed to get to know her in the way we're getting to know Lexi.
Yeah.
Who we will talk about in 1 minute because I'm obsessed. And I guess at some point she gets confronted by the producers because she's like selling stories.
She like comes back to the city every week, talks shit about the show, talks shit about the cast members, and tells everyone what's going on in the house and like spoiling the show. So production confronted her like, what is you doing? And then she never showed up again.
Correct. So I think they have probably edited out big chunks of her.
Why did they even include that bit about some guy she's seeing in the city? Like, who
gives a fuck? I thought the same thing. I'm like, not only, even if she was a full-time cast member, we don't care, but she's not.
No,
so
and
I'm like, why are we getting invested in the storyline?
Last week, she didn't even have a confessional interview. And then this week she did, talking about like some guy in the city that she may or may not be seeing when this girl's like not even on the show after this weekend. Who gives a fuck? They were just trying to fill airtime because they want to make this weekend 3 episodes.
1000%. Now let's talk about Jesse and Lexi. And what's so funny is I watched the episode with Ben, and Ben does not watch this show. He doesn't know like who's new, who's old, who's been here before. And he's like, oh my God, every time it was Jesse and Wes, he was like, they're the best part of the show. And they're like the ones who actually go out. When they went to the club and got back at 11:29, I'm like, why are we watching these people? Like, and of course Lindsay's pregnant, but it's like
everyone came back.
Yeah,
all the girls
right.
came back.
So I'm like, this is supposed to be like young people going out. They're home at 11:30. That's not interesting to me.
They literally left the house at 10:30. She said we went out dancing for 1 hour.
So every time Jesse and Wes, they're the ones who drink, they're the ones who go out, they're the ones who like try to get girls. Like that's the whole point of the show. Ben thought they were so fucking funny. Like he was loving, he's like, Jesse Solomon's Jewish, right? I'm like, of course. And I was like really not okay at the scene where Jesse and Lexi are like kind of sharing their truths, their tragedies, their triumphs in life, in that bed where they're not like spooning, but they're just sort of like cocooning with one another.
Talking intimately.
She's sharing about this huge loss in her life of her best friend. He's obviously sharing his journey with cancer.
And that was her best friend, not her boyfriend?
Yeah, but it was, I thought, it was like giving GBF, no?
Oh, gee.
I don't know that, by the way.
Pictures, it looks like they're all kissy, and I didn't hear when she spoke about him. I didn't hear
She
if
said
she
friend.
said friend. Okay.
Yeah, and straight people can obviously be friends, but I assume GBF, but I
Okay.
don't know. I have no proof of that.
Okay.
I thought that was so sweet, like the way they were talking with one another, like really intimately, and then they started making out. Like I'm worried that it's like too fast, and when you like make out with someone and then you wake up in the same house as them, like you automatically have the ick. Like it's just too close for comfort.
Not on a makeout. If they had like slept together.
No, of course, but like they're headed that way.
I know. And I know like you're not supposed to move this quickly in a relationship. And I know that's just like a rule because.
But it's true love's
And
kiss.
I'm trying to like remember like why it's bad. And how do you even slow down at this point? Like they're obviously moving too quickly.
Yeah.
Because
they'll be fizzled by weekend too.
It's better to take things slow. But how can they slow down when they just want to be around each other and talk to each other and touch each other?
And they are. How can you take it slow when you're living together?
Yeah.
It's giving Ron and Sam. Did you say that about them?
Yeah, just that two people came into the house and they were attracted to each other and were off to
Instantly.
the races.
And if, Ron and Sam have taught us anything, it's like this is going to be the most toxic relationship on the planet.
I don't think it's going to be toxic because they're not toxic people. I just think it's going to fizzle out so quickly and like, maybe maybe this is why people should take things slow because Jesse doesn't have enough time to like change his behavior. I feel like sometimes when you're like gradually moving towards a relationship, you slowly start talking to other people. You slowly realize I only want to spend time with this person. But for him to like in 2 days be a completely different person than he was 2 days ago and talk to girls differently and go out differently, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And maybe that's amongst the reasons why going so quickly doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even though back in the day it did, but that was before, there were girls in the DMs and Bonnie Blue.
Correct. Well, now we're all competing with the Bonnie Blues of the world. I thought that the FaceTime conversation they shared of Craig and Paige and then that interview that Paige shared was a real window and insight into that time. Because this is like a few months before they're getting, right?
Yeah,
It's
this
most
is
recent
July
summer.
and they broke up in December.
So I feel like that was actually a really honest moment from Paige. And I think that it gave a lot of like color as to why this relationship didn't work out. And the fact that she's changed her mind on a lot of things and her life has changed so much. And she didn't foresee herself being this like busy and successful and fulfilled by it. And she's not mad at it and she doesn't want to change it. And so it's like a small crack that I think maybe if they hadn't been broken up, I wouldn't have thought much of.
Yeah,
but now
we would have thought like, oh, she's changed and they're going to grow together. And I feel like even if it was just one of the things that she had mentioned, that can like destabilize a relationship. Like her just saying, I'm different than the person I was 3 years ago. I'm so much busier. So one, it's hard to be in a long distance relationship when you're that busy and you can't come for 1 week and he can't come the next week. Then she also says that she changes her mind about a lot of things that in the beginning of and that can also just deteriorate a relationship when you have different ideas of the future. So between everything that she said, it's like, oh, if they weren't together, if they were still together, it would kind of be like a red flag, but people can grow together and change together. And maybe Craig changed his mind on those things too, like he was saying on Southern Charm to his friends, and the boys were like, okay, sure you did, Craig.
Right.
But I do think that's what happened in their relationship. And that's why to me, like as much as now they hate each other, like nothing went wrong. People just change and you grow apart and you just like have different ideas of the future and you break up and it's sad. But nobody did something wrong.
Yeah. I need more Gabby in this show because we get very little. And what we do get, I really enjoy. Like, because I know she's like always up Lindsay's ass. And that like is probably her biggest disqualifier when it comes to like being a good reality star. But she's saying the thing that like we're all thinking, being like, why is Lindsay even here? And why is Carl here? Like, thank you for saying that. It's a good question.
For a check.
Of course.
For Lindsay, and especially now, like, who knows what she'll be able to do this summer. Like, now that she has a baby, maybe she can't come to the summer house. Definitely her career is changing, but you're about to have a baby. Like, you're going to work as much as you possibly can. I understand why Lindsay's there. Yeah. I don't understand why Carl's there. He really doesn't add much to the show, aside from being, like, the Lindsay storyline. Go enjoy your life. Like, he's a completely different person than he was when he came on the show a million years ago.
Ben was cracking me up. Ben was like, those steaks are burnt and raw.
That's funny. It looked
they were
like
too big.
A really nice meal.
Not him making the meal for everyone and also cleaning up. It was giving butler. Like he's here because he's staff. Nobody cleaned and he cooked the entire thing.
I was like, is anybody going to thank him? And it turned out to be Lindsay. But I think that he like could move on. But now he has Soft Bar and he needs this platform.
I know. It's just every time he talks, I feel this overwhelming sense of dread. Like he is so dreadful, so not entertaining, so therapy talk, so I'm glad Lindsay's leaving, I want to be healed, like I just please
I want to meet someone. Go meet someone. You don't have to wait till July 4th. You're in New York City. Go meet someone.
You're in New York City. Go meet someone. And you're going to meet someone at this fake party where everybody's like required to invite 3 friends and they have to stay for 2 hours and play no music.
3 friends that they've been inviting for the
every
last
summer.
8 years.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You're going to meet someone. Watch you meet someone next week.
What else?
That's kind of it.
It's actually really crazy how little Kyle and Amanda contribute to the show. Like, we just did a whole recap without even talking about them.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I'm biased because he is my mortal enemy and I will hate him till the day that I die. But I don't think that's it. Like,
No, what did he do?
set up the speakers. He's also giving staff. Like, he's organizing the cars and setting up the speakers.
Yeah. I just we need to get into the season. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
They've been there 2 days. They made a lot of
Content.
Yeah,
out of
thankfully
that.
I like all the people, so I'll literally just watch Lexi and Jesse just hugging.
No, and the girls are so pretty and they really get dressed up. Even though they go out for 35 minutes, they put their best foot forward. And it's nice to watch beautiful women doing beautiful things.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. And I like the steak dinner. I like watching them cook. I like seeing who cleans. It's I'm enjoying my time. I'm not watching Love is Blind dreadfully.
Yeah.
But as far as plot, move it along.
Yeah, it's not the most plotty.
No, there was not plot.
That's our show, correct?
That is our show. We'll see.
Let me end the show how I started.
She's giving eyeballs.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Destin Millennium Morning Show. We deliver the fast stories and news never mind the friend on YouTube. So, if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast and every podcast we have. I look so much uglier. Like at Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where I
You
listen
look
to podcasts.
so cool.
Find us the test, leave a 5-star review
for school.
about how beautiful, stunning, and smart we are.
Love ya.